Like I said, we don't have the bells and whistles on this. I don't think that any of that is truly needed. Let me show you why. You really don't need to create a definitive part line. You can mostly just mess this up. Even though they use the same color numbers, how they've applied them within the color is quite different. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda, and today I'm excited to give you a little bit of a review on this more budget-friendly pixie style on my head right now called Brushed Pixie. And I'm also happy to be able to show you a little bit of a color comparison with this color and another brand that is similar. But before I jump into it all, I'm gonna remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. So if there's one thing I know about most people in this world, it's that we all love a good deal and especially a good deal when it comes to wigs. So Brushed Pixie, that is on my head right now by TressAllure, is a really great option if you are looking for more of a budget-friendly piece. Now, the reason it is more of a budget-friendly style is all because of the cap construction. The cap construction plays a huge role in how much you are going to pay for a wig. And at the end of the day, your cap construction does play a role in how natural a wig is going to look. But let's do a little dive into Brushed Pixie and take a look at the cap construction here. Now, the reason this is more budget friendly is because this is a basic cap. And when I say basic cap, I essentially just mean that it doesn't have any of the bells and whistles that you would find on a lot of other different caps, such as a lace front, monofilament top. It has no hand-tied features. This right here is a basic cap because it is completely machine made. So there is no hand-tied feature on this at all. You're not gonna find a lace front on this, but you do have this nice felt strip at the front here. So you don't get that natural illusion of growth right from your hairline. However, when I put this on, you'll notice that the bangs in the front are gonna hide that anyways. So it's, in my opinion, not a huge downfall of this wig. And plus, this also makes it so that it is nice and comfortable. So if you are someone who does have a sensitive scalp, sensitive skin, you might really love the feel of this. It is definitely wearable all day. It just kind of feels like you're wearing a hat. And then on top, we don't have any of the monofilament features or hand-tied features on the top. This is all wefted, it's machine made, and this is where you're gonna find a lot of permatease, which we'll talk about in a minute here, in case you are unfamiliar with the term permatease. Then this is all, again, machine sewn into these wefts. So a weft is basically where a machine sews all the fiber into these rows here. And it's open wefted, meaning you can stick your fingers, it's an open cap, stick your fingers through, it's ventilated and breathable. And all of the elastic that's sewn vertically here makes it so it's nice and stretchy. On top of that all, we do have some felt ear tabs for comfort, and then with that metal stay in it that allows your wig to remain glueless and allows you to keep it down by your temples without it flopping around. And then you have your extended felt nape with your Velcro adjusters to adjust the circumference of your wig. So that is your basic cap for you. Like I said, we don't have the bells and whistles on this to give it that natural illusion of growth from your hairline or from your scalp. However, on a style like Brushed Pixie here, I don't think that any of that is truly needed. Let me show you why. So, like I mentioned, we have the bang here. That bang is going to cover up the fact that we don't have a hairline really at all. So that bang is there, and you are not gonna notice that there is no lace front there. Now on top, like I said, we don't have that monofilament on top. You do not get that natural illusion of growth from your scalp. However, on a style like Brushed Pixie, you don't even necessarily need a part line on this. All of the fiber up here is layered. It can be a little bit messy, it can be a little bit ruffly, and you don't even need to make a definitive part on this. If you were to make a definitive part, this is what you're going to see. So in there is just fiber. It's just a little bit of permatease, which is a short-haired crimping effect done at the root of some synthetic styles that gives you volume, it gives you shape, it gives you structure, and it's there also to hide the wefting. So in this case, it's there to hide the wefts that we see on top and to give us some volume on top as well. So that is there in place of your natural looking part line, but then you really don't need to create a definitive part line. You can mostly just mess this up, or you can't even tell that you even have a scalp at all because the hair is just all over the place. Is that making any sense? Now, is it nice to have a monofilament feature on a pixie style like this? Of course it is. I would always welcome an illusion of scalp on my part line. However, if you want one of these budget-friendly styles, you don't need it. And I think you can get by with this still looking pretty okay. Okay, now Brushed Pixie here is made with heat-friendly synthetic fiber, and I actually love having pixie styles, especially these really layered and choppy ones, with heat-friendly synthetic fiber. It allows you to manipulate the fiber a little bit more easily because heat-friendly fiber has almost more of a gummy, it's not gummy, but it just feels more gummy in consistency than a regular synthetic fiber, making them a little bit more easy to maneuver around without using any product. Now you can use the permatease on this style to bring it up nice and high if you'd like to have that extra volume, just like that. Or if you're like, too much, you can tone it down a little bit at least, so it's not too poofy on top, whatever you prefer. Now the bangs here, I feel definitely want to come forward into this sort of front bang, but if you want to give them a little bit of a brush to the side, you can do that as well, and it'll still hide that lack of a hairline there. So you can definitely do that if this is more your jam, giving you a little bit more of that side swept look there. And Brushed Pixie here, along with pretty much every other TressAllure style I have ever tried, it fits pretty true to average, I find. Let me give you a spin of this whole style though, so you can see what she looks like in the sides and the back. Now, of course, you can bring these sideburns forward if you wish. Gonna look a little something like that, or if you were to brush it behind your ear, you can still do that. And on me, you don't even really notice the ear tabs at all. So sometimes with pixies, I'm a little worried to bring it behind my ear because sometimes those ear tabs will show, but this one is still pretty covered. Okay, I'm gonna spin now. Now I'm actually wearing this in a new color by TressAllure. This is the color Brondie. Now Brondie here has a 10, which is a lighter brown base. And then we have a highlight of a 16, which is gonna be a medium to light, more golden blonde color. And then we are going to have a root of an 8, which is gonna be more of a medium brown. I find that this is a pretty neutral color overall. It doesn't lean too cool and it doesn't lean too warm. Now I will let you know I am standing in front of a window right now. This is natural light. Now the sun is out today, however, the sun isn't beaming on me. It's more of a natural shaded light. I have a tree in front of my window that kind of blocks a lot of that golden sunshine on me. But just so we can get another look at this color, all right, I'm gonna back up so I'm not super duper in front of the window here. And you're gonna notice that those highlights are suddenly going to look a little bit more golden, a little bit darker than they did right in front of the window there. What I love about this color is how dimensional it is. It definitely gives a little bit more of a salon highlight without being too chunky, like really big, thick highlighting. It is a really lovely color. Okay, let me put you back in your little home. And like I was mentioning earlier, I want to show you guys how this color compares to another similar color by a different brand. Now, remember I told you that the color numbers on this are a 10, a 16, with a root of an 8. I want to show you now Jon Renau's color called 10RH16. So Jon Renau has this color here, 10RH16. It essentially uses the same colors in Brondie. However, you can see here that it's going to look a little bit different. Overall, I find that Brondie is going to be a little bit warmer than 10RH16 by Jon Renau. Now, if you look here though, even though they use the same color numbers, how they've applied them within the color is quite different. One of the biggest differences you'll see in these two colors is that the highlighting on Brondie is much more evident, and the highlighting on 10RH16 looks to appear a lot more blended. Now I'm gonna take you back out of this light so we can take a look, see if we can see any differences back here. So you can definitely tell even in this lighting that the highlighting again on 10RH16 by Jon Renau just is not as evident. It's a lot more blended still than the highlighting on Brondie by TressAllure. And with that being the case, you can see the 10 on Brondie stand out a lot more than you can on the 10RH16 by Jon Renau. Now, why don't I put this wig on for you here? This is called Iris by Jon Renau. I believe I have a little review of it kind of coupled in with some pixies, but this is the new Iris by Jon Renau. It's a really cute style, you guys. You like this really short, choppy, trendy look, you'll love Iris. Now, Iris is a little bit of a basic cap, but it does have a couple features on it that are gonna make it a little bit more natural. You have a lace front on Iris, and although you don't have a monofilament top, you have a monofilament crown. So if I bend over here, you can see where all of the hair just like bloop, kind of spiders out of there. And I think you can definitely tell when Iris is on my head that 10RH16 by Jon Renau, this color here, does look a bit lighter on me than Brondie did, because like I mentioned, the brunette color, the 10 on Brondie stands out quite a bit more against the chunky highlighting, whereas the 10 and the 16 appear to be a little bit more blended, making the overall appearance just look a little bit lighter on 10RH16. So this is just all to let you know that even if you see color numbers amongst different brands, yes, they are essentially using the same colors, but the way they apply the color on their particular color can differ quite a bit. But you know what? That is pretty much all I have to share with you today. Hopefully this was helpful for you, and if you're a pixie gal, hopefully one of these styles kind of spoke to you today. But I will let you guys go. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.